We're counting down the 7 fastest American cars you could buy new in 1960, each ranked strictly by quarter-mile times reported in Period magazine tests. This was the calm before the muscle car storm, a year when huge displacement V8 engines, high compression ratios, and towering torque tried to claw for traction through skinny bias ply tires. Only showroom stock American models from the 1960 model year are included, with rankings based on published elapsed times that could swing with gearing, weight, tire grip, driver skill, track conditions, and even the odd magazine ringer. As we reveal each car and its test numbers, get ready to see why these machines have become legends. Let's begin with number 7. In 7th place, the Oldsmobile Super 88 stands as a symbol of the 1960s full-size power peak. Under its broad hood sits the Rocket 394 V8, delivering a factory-rated 315 horsepower and a massive 435 pound-feet of torque, numbers that promised effortless acceleration for the era. Yet, with a curb weight tipping the scales at around 4,100 pounds, and the Jetaway Hydra-matic automatic transmission shifting softly through the gears, this big sedan faced real-world limits at the drag strip. Period tests reported quarter-mile times hovering near 17.0 seconds at about 83 miles per hour, establishing the slow end of our countdown. Hot Rod magazine described its performance as unruffled, almost effortless high-speed cruising, highlighting the Super 88's smooth character rather than raw speed. Weight and transmission tuning set the baseline, reminding us how much sheer mass and gentle shifts could blunt the impact of even the largest V8 engines before the muscle car era truly began. In 6th place, the Chevrolet Corvette brings a different flavor to the 1960s horsepower race. While Detroit's big sedans chased torque and size, the Corvette relied on a lightweight body and a high-revving small-block V8. Under the fiberglass hood, buyers could choose from several 283 cubic inch options, with the hottest versions making up to a reported 315 horsepower. In Period magazine tests, a well-optioned 4-speed Corvette posted quarter-mile times around 16.1 seconds at nearly 89 miles per hour, just edging out the heavier Oldsmobile despite giving up over 100 cubic inches of displacement. With a curb weight near 3,200 pounds, the Corvette showed what a favorable power-to-weight ratio could do, even on skinny bias ply tires. Production for 1960 totaled 10,261 units, but only about 140 left the factory in Cascade Green, making that color a rare sight today. The Corvette's combination of agility and revs set it apart in an era dominated by full-size muscle, hinting at the sports car future ahead. In 5th place, the Chrysler 300F brings a distinct engineering approach to the 1960 horsepower race. Under its long hood lies the 413 cubic inch V8, rated at 375 horsepower and an astonishing 495 pound-feet of torque. What set the 300F apart was not just displacement, it was the cross-ram intake system, a marvel of mid-century design. Instead of short direct runners, the cross-ram used a pair of long, looping intake tubes stretching nearly 42 inches across the engine bay. This design was more than a visual statement. It tuned the engine to deliver a tidal wave of torque right around 2,500 RPM, perfect for launching a heavy car off the line. Weighing roughly 4,200 pounds, the 300F was not light, yet Period tests reported quarter-mile times of about 16 seconds at 85 miles per hour, numbers that edged out lighter sports cars thanks to sheer force. The Torque Flight automatic handled shifts, making the most of the V8's mid-range punch. In an era obsessed with brute power, the 300F stood out for its calculated use of intake science, proving that clever engineering could rival raw displacement on the strip. In 4th place, the Chevrolet Impala 348 Tri-Power brings big block muscle to the heart of 1960s full-size performance racing. Under the hood sits Chevrolet's high-compression W Series 348 V8, topped with a trio of two-barrel carburetors called the Tri-Power setup, delivering a reported 335 horsepower and over 400 pound-feet of torque. This engine configuration allowed the Impala to make the most of its broad power band, especially when the outer carburetors kicked in at wide-open throttle, unleashing a surge drivers of the era still recall. Period tests recorded the Impala running the quarter mile in 15.36 seconds at just over 92 miles per hour, a figure that pushed it well below the 16-second barrier despite a curb weight of nearly 4,000 pounds. Much has been made of the Impala's X-frame design, often criticized for chassis flex, but in reality it provided a low center of gravity that helped with weight transfer off the line. The real secret to its strip performance lay in the balance of high compression, aggressive axle ratios, and the progressive tri-power linkage, which worked together to offset the car's mass and the limits of bias ply tires. In the context of 1960, this combination made the Tri-Power Impala a standout, bridging the gap between pure engineering ambition and street-driven accessibility. In the third place, the Dodge Dart Phoenix 383 D500 represents a rare moment of quiet early muscle in 1960s horsepower race. Beneath its understated lines, the D500 package packed a 383 cubic inch wedge head V8, factory rated at around 330 horsepower and roughly 440 pound-feet of torque. Period tests from Motor Life magazine recorded the Dart Phoenix D500 running the quarter mile in 15.19 seconds at 86 miles per hour, a figure that stood out for a full-size car with a 3-speed automatic and street tires. What truly sets this Dodge apart is its scarcity. Only 586 of these performance-oriented D500s were built out of more than 70,000 Phoenix models that year, as an $800 premium and subtle badging kept most buyers away. Survivors are few, and collectors today prize them for their blend of brute force and sleeper looks. The Wedgehead V8 delivered strong mid-range torque, launching the Dart Phoenix off the line with surprising urgency despite the limitations of bias ply traction. In the context of 1960, this car signaled a shift toward factory performance options, quietly setting the stage for the muscle car era that would soon roar to life. In second place, the Ford Starliner 352 High Performance stands as a testament to how NASCAR-inspired engineering filtered down to the street in 1960. Beneath its sweeping fastback roofline, a design borrowed directly from Ford's stock car program, sits the 352 cubic inch high-performance V8, estimated at around 360 horsepower and roughly 450 pound-feet of torque. This was Ford's first production engine to officially break the 1 horsepower per cubic inch barrier. It was most often paired with a 3-speed manual transmission or optional overdrive gearing. What set the Starliner apart was not just brute force, it was the way its aerodynamic shape and rear-end ratios worked together to push a hefty 4,161-pound car through the quarter mile in a reported time of 14.81 seconds at 94.7 miles per hour. In period magazine tests, the Starliner's high trap speed raised eyebrows, showing how its low drag profile let it carry speed where blockier rivals ran out of steam. Stories of these cars topping 150 miles per hour on the strip are best described as period claims. Verified quarter-mile runs never reached those numbers. Still, the Starliner's blend of NASCAR aero and gearing strategy allowed it to punch above its weight, setting the stage for the final showdown and proving that, even before the muscle car era, Detroit was already thinking about more than just raw displacement. And finally, in first place, the Pontiac Catalina 389 Tri-Power delivers the fastest verified quarter-mile run of any American production car in 1960. Under the wide hood sits Pontiac's legendary 389 cubic inch V8, available in standard TRI power tune at 318 horsepower, or in the fierce 425A configuration, pushing output to a reported 348 horsepower. What set this engine apart was not just the raw numbers, but the tri-power system itself. Three two-barrel carburetors, with the outer carbs opening progressively at wide open throttle. For drivers, the moment those outer barrels surged to life was unmistakable, a sudden rush of fuel and power that pushed the big Catalina down the strip with surprising urgency. Period tests from Motor Life magazine recorded the Catalina 425A running the quarter mile in 14.55 seconds at over 94 miles per hour, a figure that edged out even the streamlined Starliner by more than a quarter of a second. The test car used a 3-speed manual transmission and weighed in at roughly 3,900 pounds, giving it a favorable power-to-weight ratio for a full-size car of the era. Yet, as with so many magazine numbers from 1960, questions linger about test prep. Stories persist of blueprinting engines or hand-selecting parts to produce a so-called ringer car, though Pontiac denied any special treatment. Still, the tri-power Catalina's combination of progressive carburation, high compression, and robust gearing made it feared at the strip and respected on the street. Its 14.55-second elapsed time stands as the quickest published result for a 1960 American car, closing out an era where full-size Detroit iron ruled the quarter mile, just before the coming storm of the muscle car revolution. Across all 7 contenders, one pattern stands out: raw torque and high compression ruled the era, but traction and tuning kept victory uncertain. These period quarter-mile runs remind us that in 1960, speed was as much about preparation as horsepower. It's a legacy that still echoes at the strip.